Yeah, it's been kind of hard to like just getting used to the weather because I'm from the West Coast, so I'm from Vegas, and it's really the desert out there, so it's not really this cold. It's really hot. And then another thing is like my sleeping. My sleeping is pretty bad because we're also 3 hours ahead, 3 hours behind in Vegas. So when it's 12 out here, it's only 9 out there. So I'm like, it's just hard to sleep. But I'm getting used to it now. Like the cold, I'm getting used to it. So it's not bad at all.
All right, our first question comes from Stephen Brooks.
Hey, Jeremy, good to talk to you here. Could you just sort of break down for us the process of getting here? You know, I mean, we see you signed at Washington and then things happen and now you're here. You know, were you ever on campus over there or like taking any classes or anything? Just could you break down that entire sort of process for us and just how that all worked?
Yeah, it was really emotional because I really didn't get the call until like the day I landed there. So I left like the first, and I got the call the first when I landed in Seattle. So it was kind of emotional, but we got there, and then I was able to talk with Coach DeBoer, the head coach. I was able to talk to him for a little bit, and then I was just speaking with some players and seeing where their mind was, and they gave me their opinion, and then from there, I took into consideration to talk to my parents and see what was best for me. So we stayed there for a couple days, and then I was still enrolled in school, but I didn't go to any classes because if I went to classes, then I wouldn't be able to get out of my NIL or any of that. So I didn't go to any classes. As a couple days went by, um, me and my parents came up with the final decision that to go back home. I went back home, and then I was able to talk to Coach Jay and ask him if I was still able to be a Spartan, and I got the opportunity, and I just never looked back.
Real quick, I just want to clarify a couple of things. When you said the call when you landed, that was from Junior. Is that what you meant? Or
Yeah,
learning
yeah,
about it at least?
yeah. It was from Coach Adams. Like, I kind of heard stuff like New Year's, like before New Year's came. I kind of heard some stuff, and I tried to reach out and see if it was true, and never got a call back. And yeah.
Okay. And if I could follow up on that, just how much had Michigan State really talked to you, you know, pre-December or anything during that last year of
Yeah.
recruiting, and why was that sort of your first choice once you moved on there?
So when Coach Lake got fired, um, I kind of, I didn't really open it up, but I kind of opened it up, and Coach Jay was really one of the first persons I talked to, just talking to him, and then he came down and he met with me, and I was able to meet him in person, and then just started connecting with Coach Hawk, and then I connected with Coach Tuck, and I really felt like if I came here, it would be a good decision. But then it was like my decision of leaving or staying at Washington was kind of based off of my position coach, Coach Adams. So when he said he was gonna stay, I was like, I'm sorry, Coach Jay. Like I just think I'm gonna stay, and like everything was cool, like everything was cordial. So once I signed and everything, like um, before that, that was the only time I really talked to them. And then after all the situation went down, um, like I said, I called him and I asked him, I was like, do I still have an opportunity to be a Spartan? And he's like, yeah, of course. So, I mean, that whole week, we just was trying to get everything in line so I can get here and start.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
Next question comes from Matt Wenzel.
Hey, Jeremy, just real quick. So had you been on campus at Michigan State before you arrived to enroll?
No, I've never been here. It's like when I got here for school, it was my first time ever being here. So I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like I never had no visit or anything. So I mean, it was my first time.
Is that something, because a lot of guys in the class before you with COVID stuff were in the same situation? Is that anybody you've talked to about that? Is just kind of like, hey, just show up and this is your new home and get used to it?
So Katin Houser, he was already committed and all that stuff. So I was just asking him like how you like it out there, like because he's from Vegas too. So I know it. Like if he says he's like it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like it too. And of course that's my guy. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna run with it.
And as far as that's concerned, how long have you two known each other? I know you went to the same high school for 2 years, and kind of the lead in of what you were saying, how much did that friendship with him and that familiarity lead you to Michigan State?
We knew each other since like sixth grade. I want to say like sixth grade. We've been playing with each other for like FBU football, and ever since then is just we had a bond.
Thanks, Germie.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Next question comes from Paul.
Hey, Jeremy, I just wanted to ask you, for those that aren't familiar with your game, can you kind of describe your skill set as a receiver? What do you think your strengths are, and what do you bring to the table?
Definitely deep balls. That's one of my main strengths is the deep balls. I can go up and win 50-50 balls. I can outrun guys once my turnover speed gets going, and just really my hands and how smart I am like on the field and knowing what to do in what coverage.
And then as a quick follow-up, going back to the whole deal with Washington, when you were talking with your parents in those initial conversations, did part of you think that maybe I don't want to enroll early, maybe I want to let this play out? And was that a tough decision to make a jump to a different school after just kind of going through what you did with Washington?
Nah, I mean, I like ever since my junior year, I always wanted to leave early. So I knew that I wanted to be out of high school early and enroll in college. But through that process, my mom was just thinking like, oh, like maybe you should like step back and just take a time off from this. And I was just telling her, I was like, no, like I still want to be in school, like whether or not if it's here or somewhere else. So that I knew after I made my decision to go back home, and when I started talking to Coach Jay, because I knew school didn't start until another week, so I had time to be able to get here in time.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Audrey.
Hi, Jeremy. Welcome to town. I just wanted to get more of your thoughts on maybe your relationship with Katin and how you just mentioned there's a lot of adjustments that you've had to go through so far. So how has he helped you maybe, or how have you guys helped each other when it comes to this new place, new time zone, all that kind of stuff on the adjustment side?
Adjusting. I mean, we only help each other really by just waking each other up when we need to, or I mean that's really the main factor, because everything else it's like a personal adjustment, like going to sleep. We can't really help each other go to sleep. The weather, we can't really, like that's personal, but like we always help each other out. Like we go get each other food. We take turns like taking out trash, whatever. Like, so I mean that's really the ways we really help each other.
Coach Tucker and his staff are very big on culture. Have you noticed that? What have you noticed about the culture so far at Michigan State in this little snippet of time?
Oh, it's great. It's great. I'm really blessed to be in a program like this. Everything here is like family. Like I really truly think these guys are my brothers, and I'm happy to be here.
And then when you were having conversations with Coach Hawkins, what were some of the things that really stood out to you that made you say, I want to play for him, I want him to be my position coach? Or, what were some of the dynamics there?
He's very fair. He's very straightforward. Whether or not you're a senior or a freshman, if you're good enough, he's gonna play you. So it's not really like, oh, he's older, so he's gonna play. Like, he doesn't care about that, and that's one of the main things. Like, if you're good enough and you're showing that you're doing good and you can compete, then you should be able to play. And that's what I really liked about what he said when I was talking to him.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
And we'll go back to Stephen Brooks with the last question.
Just to clarify real quick, Jeremy, Coach Jay is Jay Johnson?
Coach Jay?
Yeah, you say Coach Jay Johnson?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I just want to be 100% sure.
Nah, yeah. I call him Coach Jay, yeah.
Sure, yeah, no problem. I'm wondering, for guys like you, guys like Dylan, guys like Katin, guys we're going to talk to today, each of you were very highly recruited guys, highly ranked guys coming out of high school. Then you come into a program like this and just won 11 games. Is there kind of a moment where you realize, like, man, I'm kind of just a regular guy now. I'm not like the superstar, and I'm just fitting into my piece of the puzzle here, just going back to square one a little bit. What's that process sort of like for a freshman?
I mean, me knowing that like coming into a big program, I know I'm not going to be a big time guy right away, but I know what I can do and what my abilities are. So I know that every day I just have to come and work and just prove myself what I can do.